Alright. Is the music a bit too loud, guys? Let me know. I can turn that up a bit more if you guys need it. Yeah, sorry about the echoes. I had a bunch of other Twitch channels opened up so I could test the different resolutions and get rid of this black bars on the sides of the monitor and the video feed for you guys because I had a new monitor and it was messing up the resolutions, all the graphics. Oh, we had some black lines going on here, so on default resolution we're getting this kind of feed with this black bars, which was actually making us lose resolution for you guys, for the viewers. So we just went ahead and fixed that in the last hour or so. It took us way too long. Make Shadow Fiend items. I actually have one that I really want to make, and I was talking with AC, the broadcaster from Dota2, and I think we're gonna make a Shadow Fiend set for him in the near future. So get excited. You just open up my dash. I have way too many windows. Go. Alright. Alright, so last time we left off, we're starting to texture board that was going to be able to work with Invoker, Warlock, and with one hero in particular. It'll work better. No, it works for a few supports at the same time. Maybe more people will get it. Evolving a set, 100 keys? I don't know, man. The evolving thing is a tricky thing with heroes and spells, because you don't want to make a, you know, like set it by kills or by spells or anything like that, because then people that might have that set, they might be playing the game just to get, you know, their set, you know, evolved and not really care about the multiplayer game that's going on, and then it might screw over his teammates. I don't know. I think Valve's being really careful about where they add those. Ribbon Shade. When you import a character into Softimage, do you need to unlock all the transforms on everything, or is there an easier way? I brought Lena into Maya and it's quite the headache. Unlock all the transforms. What are you trying to do in particular, Ribbon? Let me know. I'll try and answer your question. Well, let's get our placeholder text. You talk about moving the default items of the character so you can make new ones. I can move them face by face, but when the transfers are locked, first attempt, not sure of the technical setup. Okay, so when you're importing SNDs or into Maya, I'm pretty sure you are working with SNDs. If you are, that means that the rigs already applied to them. So you need to freeze all the transforms. So you are actually taking all the meshes off their skeleton, and then you can move them around and make new items with them and use them as a starting point if that's what you're after. Crap, I don't remember what it was yet. Placeholder anyway. Girl. Sorry guys, got a little distracted by the my UVs and trying to figure out what I want to do with the eye. I think I want to make this more of a fiery kind of look. I mean, I'm gonna repaint that because that's just the default, textures that are already in Dota. So I think I'll make something unique. Let's see. Do I make any 2D concepts before modeling? No, I don't do that anymore. All the models and stuff that I made, for some time and in Dota 2. Fortress and all that. I just start modeling. Like I'll think of a really good idea. I see it in my head, and I'll just start modeling and kind of like, concepting and modeling and building and sculpting as I go along. I don't need to do concepts. Yeah, I think I've reached that stage where I can concept in my head and modeling as I go across and design as I do it. Raven, you've been using the ME files that they provide because SMB's importers for 2014 seem buggier than just fixing the broken C. activators. Yeah, so with the MA files, they are also rigged to the skeleton that they provide. So you just need to freeze the transforms, and then you can then start using those meshes as a starting point, or just as reference, or you just want to move them around, then you can do it that way. But yeah, that's because they're just attached to the skeletons. You should be good to go. You freeze the transform. Hey Henry, Steam 1. Thanks man, glad you liked the reward. There is so many bots. Planning. Oh, thanks Henry. I think what's gonna be really cool for the ward, I mean it's not even textured yet, we just like threw a couple of colors on it last night. But the animation's gonna be pretty sick. Like the book's gonna have, you know, flip pages. Or the book, well, angle. It's not rigged right now, so it's kind of hard to see. You know, when it opens up and it spawns, a bunch of pages are gonna flip. Then we're gonna get we're gonna animate so that it looks like well, these are two different pages. Have the same page, so that only the font appears to be different. So it'll look like the book has font being written on it, like a spell. And then I will appear after that. And it's gonna look really cool. And same for the death animation. We'll have the book kind of close and use the, you know, like squish the eye, and the still will go into the ground. Then the closed book will then fall to the ground. And we'll do something with the ribbon too. I'm not sure what we can do. Depends how many bones we put on it. TV Dota is going to be the artist animating this this word. I'm designing it and brainstorming the animations with them and doing everything else like the textures. But yeah, I'm really happy that he's going to be animating the thing. Really good job. Subtly, yeah. I mean, if depends how many bones we can put on the ribbon. Maybe we'll have it like floating, you know, in like the different areas for the oh. And floating, and then yeah, for the deaths and the spawns, have it spin around and shrink. Something neat. But I mean, it is cut up, you know, it doesn't go all the way through. Take up our UV speed. Right. Which is my favorite hero? I like Nature's Prophet, and I like Spirit Breaker. And I also play quite a bit of Faceless Void, and MPL a little bit, not too much though. Yeah, I like Faceless Void, Prophet, Spirit Breaker. Lifestealer, I like Lifestealer a lot. You're thinking the ribbon could go into the eye? Oh, like, kind of like twirl into the eye when the book closes? Base cow, yeah. Yeah, Lifestealer is a lot of fun. It's just a little tricky to get started with. But most of those heroes that I like, I guess, start up pretty slow and then they get better, or useful and fun towards the late game. Do I have any tips for getting into the games industry as a character artist? That's a loaded question. Yeah, I mean, you just need to be creating art a lot. You know, you have to, it's all about practice. I would suggest you try and copy, you know, somebody's amazing work that you see out there, and by copying it, you then realize, you know, some of the steps that those really good artists took towards creating the piece that you're looking at and you're being inspired by. The more you do that with different artists and different pieces that you admire, you start learning, you know, what it takes and, you know, tricks and ways to create those images. Once you do that, you can start creating your own after that. But if you just start to do your own stuff right off the bat, it's gonna take you way longer to realize, you know, how to create quality things faster, or even just creating them. You know, maybe you just don't know how to create a certain sculpt or detail or even design. I mean, design is something that you need to pretty much almost learn on your own to some degree. So the more you do it, the more you actually realize how you can design and create on your own way. But I mean, there's obviously some rules to, you know, creating, you know, character concept art. That's if you're creating, you know, or designing your own concepts as well, or even sculpting. As if you're a character artist, you're going to be designing, even if somebody has you a concept piece, you know, even a turnaround, you know, you're going to be designing a lot of it as you're sculpting it, because the 2D is not going to translate perfectly onto the 3D. So a good concept, a good character artist will always be designing and fixing things up from a 2D concept, or he should be anyways. If it's your own concept, or you don't even have, you know, a full concept, you have like a 3/4 view, that is really rough, then you're going to be designing a lot of that character as you're sculpting it. So it's something that you should really be getting good at, regardless whether you're going to have a concept artist with you or without you. And, you know, within that realm, you're going to be creating... Sorry, I'm blanking out here. It's 6 in the morning. I haven't slept yet. But yeah, designing wise for character stuff, you're gonna have to create areas for characters that are busy, you know, that are detailed, and then you have to leave areas that are not as busy, and those areas will allow the eye to rest for the viewer, and that's how you start creating, you know, harmony within a design for a character. You can have it all be crazy busy, because then you end up with stuff like Transformers, where it's just, you know, a massive pile of detail and nothing really reads, you know? And that's not a great way to design rememberable characters or good character design. So, sort of answered your question. If you're more novice or you're newer to character design, then yeah, I mean, you need to work on your sculpt. Work on figuring out how to do ZBrush and low poly stuff and UVs, and visit forums, visit Polycount, visit CG Talk, visit liveworkshop.com, get inspired by other artists, ask questions. Would I mind giving you a short critique on something you made in ZBrush recently? Absolutely, man. Throw the link up. Take a look. And some of these butts. You think I could compete in contests like Dominance War? Yeah, I think I was gonna do it one year, but I got way too busy at my studio. I had to give it priority, so I decided not to do the Dominance War stuff. Yeah. Hey, Nilla Dota, didn't even notice it. How you doing, girl? There's nice and neat. Give me 1 second, I'll look at you're looking at when I get these pages half thrown on here. I haven't forgotten about you. Break up my Wacom tablet. Except tablet's running across 3 monitors now. So much faster. Crap. Oh my god. So we're looking at here. Probably needs to the direction. I wanted to clip into that. Your jawline is really wonky. So if you're looking at this at a side view, and there's your head. You're looking at the side view for this guy, his jaw's gonna be going like way to his neck back here, and you actually want to kind of kill that off over by his temple. Get a little bit of jawline's gotta appear there instead of going all the way back here. Cut it up, and you don't want to have it flat either. It's gonna look really weird because the jaw, has a hinge, and that's how bite beasts or animals or anything. That's how they'll bite. Gotta move in both those directions, up and down. So anytime you have that flat kind of jaw, you kind of like remove the hinge, and you get like this alligator, like this upside down alligator, where the top part is the one that's moving up and down. And then you look like Pac-Man. So yeah, move that jaw, have down here, the guy up here. And you can still make a strong jaw, put it nice and flat like you have it down here. Let's start it up there, and at the same time you can get your move your mouth up, and your cheekbone in a pretty odd spot too. Here it's getting really flat. Want to move this guy up a little bit. To create nicer bone structure. Your shoulders, your anatomy for your arms and your chest is it's pretty off. So I'd suggest you look at some anatomy books. Take a look at how that all is connected. I know you're going for a really bulky look, but like this, for example, the bicep really tucks in. Like I'm just drawing the muscles right now. Tucks right all the way in there. Chest bone goes over top of it. So the muscle fibers. Very muscle. This chest muscle attach all the way over here. This guy. Okay. For that to work, your model has your shoulder joint way too deep, especially for the size of this guy's back. Your arms needs to be, your shoulder joint needs to be pushed out. That way. Where your shoulder joint should probably be. That way you can get some actual pads. Connect the back. want to send this a little bit of a short. And then your neck, instead of having it be flushed with your shoulders, you want to start, these guys wrap around from the back. It's kind of hard to see here, but these muscles will wrap around and they go like behind the neck a little bit. Start going, I mean for this huge guy, I know he's gonna have huge, I get this kind of shape going. You don't want it to be flat. Already set up there. I would even pull his head up a little bit more for him to play with over here. Yeah, the chest. Out. The rings that you're attaching here, I know it's a design thing, but you're not gonna have a lot of skin here. The pecs are really tight, especially for this muscle guy. So if you want to attach rings to this chest, especially with the skin, you know, kind of like doing what it's doing here, use bigger rings and have the rings actually just go through the skin instead of being pulled like that. So only the stretching is just appearing on those sections, and you can still keep your rings. But this, I don't think the chest would, I mean, that skin would just rip off. The specs are going to be too tight. And then yeah, your bicep anatomy is really bulgy. This guy kind of like sneaks there. You're missing a lot of elbow geometry here. Got a little bit of a bump going on there. Then try. Oh yeah, that ear. And your arm will be arm would be longer. You have to measure your his arm. Usually, if you were to rotate his arm down this way, his hand would hang. This image is really small, but by a good rule of thumb is if you rotate this hand all the way down, his hand should be around his crotch, or actually just like a hand scale just below his crotch or so. So this hand, you know, would rotate, and it's probably kind of short, especially if we make the torso a little bit longer, like we said. So yeah, I mean, mostly anatomy are your issues. This part, I'd say, is areas you really need to work with for facial stuff. Probably need a little. Well, he's kind of a lizardy kind of dude, so maybe you're doing something you the nose you have going on there, but this part looks kind of weird. You have like a lizard, you know, structure here, very skeletal. Then you have like a nose on top of it. Maybe you want to angle this a bit more, make it a little bit flatter, so that it goes with this skeletal kind of look. I like the horns. Yeah, the jaw definitely got. Don't worry about adding all this detail for your sculptor yet. I'll worry more about the volumes and getting all these anatomy problems out of the way first. Don't worry about the detail too. And is this cloth here? You're making cloth? You should. You're gonna have to give it a bit more weight. No, it wouldn't float like this. It probably pull down. Kind of like. a little bit. Back or something like that. Just looks like it's extruded and it's not really, attached to him in any way. Unless the rest, not going across and that's actually holding weight up. Yeah, just keep all those things in mind. Hopefully that helped you some. It's kind of all over the place there. Oh, sorry, something I should... Bicep is. Those look good. But yeah, I mean, as you're designing your model, always try and give it some character. That's what I used to tell my guys all the time. You're a character artist, so your number one job is give this guy's character, make them a bit of history, make people wonder, like how he got a scar on him, or what those rings mean that he's got on his chest. Maybe one of them has a key attached to it, or they're chains and maybe he was shackled, or they're part of his, add little backstories that will make people kind of give them their own history, or make their own story in their own heads. But just leave that window open for your viewers to create a story for them if you don't do it yourself, and that'll make characters more interesting and actually infuse your model with character. It's not just sculpting. You're a designer. Oh, is my mic cutting in and out, guys? Yeah, I've had to move all my stuff around again because of the new monitor, so it might not be picking up as well as before. And I know that the broadcaster software also put out a couple of patches out, so they might have moved some stuff around for the microphone noise gate. So here, is that better? I don't know if it's gonna cut out anymore, but I played around with the settings a little bit more. Hopefully this is better. Awesome, thanks guys. Hey, thanks, Dream Reality. Kind words, man. In the industry, how does it usually go? The concept artist gives you the concept turnaround, 3/4 view, and you do the modeling then? Do you also get a story from the lead character artist, or do you have room to experiment? It really depends on the studio, and depends on the project, and depends on your team. So all those things are factors. At my last studio, where I was at LucasArts and Lucasfilm, we had the story, already in the works for a lot of the characters, and then we would have the concept art team start concepting some characters out. And some of the projects that I was on there, I was able to join the concept art team and be a concept artist and help concept some of the characters along with them. And then I would jump over to the character team and then lead the character team and also create some of the main characters. So at LucasArts, we would get some character artists required a turnaround, a full turnaround, the line work and all that stuff. Other character artists, we just used a simple 3/4 view of a character, and then we designed all the detailed and the backside completely on our end. So it's really studio dependent, and the type of character artist that you're working with and their experience and all those things. Thanks, Leah Goodman. How do you enjoy the board? Really getting started on the textures, not very far at all. What's up, Nella? Hey, Frank. Me talking about the process for the industry makes you excited. Yeah, man. I mean, it's joining studios is always a really fun time, especially early on. Nella, this is a ward that can be used for multiple heroes, support heroes. It could be a Warlock, it could be Invoker, it could be Keeper of the Light. Making it so it works for all three of them. I'm using a tablet, yes. It's a Wacom tablet. Alright, so we're actually narrowing the top. Our war. Was it hard getting used to the tablet over the mouse or keyboard? No, not really, man. I mean, if you draw a lot, you'll get it fairly easy. It'll go by fast. I'll just keep getting better and better at it, but... Yeah, this is just a placeholder texture. I'm not sure what I want to do with the eye. I just know that I want to make it a little bit different than the default eye. So what I did there is I cheated a little bit and I grabbed the underside, even though it had different topology on it, and I just duplicated, threw it over here, and started pasting snapping my vertices to the right topology on the other side. Once that's done, I can go back onto over here, just selecting this part, not the other part, the new part, and then I can move around those vertices. So if there's any stretching on the texture, I can. What's the most fun project I've worked on in my career? Or character or anything? I think I enjoyed working on the first Force Unleashed over at Lucasfilm the most. We had a really strong team at that point. We had an amazing leader. We had who was also a writer. We were a brand new team. We were a large team too, but it was great, man. All the meetings were amazingly fun. Everybody was excited to be working on the project. Everybody would stay late, you know. Didn't matter that we were crunching quite a bit for it. It was amazing. It was probably the most fun project that I worked on my 15-year career. Yeah, that was pretty good. Purple, let's page. we're doing testing. There's different fonts and sizes the other night to see which size would still be readable while in-game view for Dota. All these pages were quick test to determine what was too small and what would read at 512, and something like this was our final. I'm gonna use like runes and hieroglyphics instead of actual. Rib's asking me which other models do I work on. You're talking about Dota models or what in particular? This program is topology. For Dota, I did the tools of the Mad Harvester that got in. Yeah. For all the guys that are new to the stream, drop on by thelabworkshop.com, our website. Paste the link right here for you guys. Drop on by, check it out, and you can check out our past broadcasts. You can see our Skeleton King set that we've been working on. There's some tutoring streams that we've done. I grabbed models from people on the forums from our community at liveworkshop.com, and I fixed their topology, their design a little bit, some of the volumes. We also have streams that cover even some work on tools of the Mad Harvester. You can see some of the texture, some of the rigging, some ZBrush sculpts. There's a quick techniques video on how to make the render illustration for your macro MPs. You know, so you can showcase your models nicely. And there's, you know, early stuff like the hooks and a little bit of the Phantom Lancer set that we've been working on. Some ZBrush sculpts there as well. We also have some tutorials. This tutorial that we have up right now shows you how to rig, compile, publish, and test your items inside Dota 2. So drop on by and check those out. And if you guys want to get any feedback on your models or any illustrations or any designs, drop on by the forums, post your work, and just ask for help. Try and help you out, and the community is there to help you out as well. And of course, don't forget to follow us. Hit that little follow button on the bottom of the stream, guys. Ever work on hero models? Yeah, of course. I can show you. Well, the Skeleton King was one of the ones that we've been working on. We've also been working on this Phantom Lancer set. So the texture, I just started baking the ambient occlusion on his main, and then I'm gonna start painting it and getting, you know, the colors to match, both from his little dirt grays and greens, and push that across to his furry arms, and then his skirt and his stone lance, and then the mask, and then try, you know, rig it, get into the game, and start making it pretty. Also, I can show you guys a little preview of Spirit Breaker one that I just started, like, before I left for the International 3. Super early, but here's the start of him. Just lock out right now for low poly. Got a huge dreadlocks that extend his hair quite a bit more. And it's got this furry top. And a black cover. So yeah. Also have a Nature's Prophet in the works, and another Pudge set. Did I have to rig them extra? No, I can't. I can't really add bones to the already existing skeleton, so I have to get clever about where I attach those extra hanging bits from him on, like I did for the Tools of the Mana Harvester. His intestines that are coming out of his belly. I rigged them to other parts of his skeleton so that they move around as he walks as well, and they have that secondary motion, which was really important. You have to be clever about getting those pieces. Goblin Tech is those guys look really fun, man. I'm sure I'll jump on making a set for those guys later down the line. What I really want to do is make a set for Life Stealer. I've been thinking about a Nick set as well, but I already have like 5 things on my plate right now, so I need to finish those things first before I start thinking too far ahead of myself. You're welcome, the Legend Pickle. Alright, where were we? You trying to get some confirmation if when the techies are coming? Nice try, dude. Yeah, I think it looks Warlock right now because of the eye, but I mean if the eye wasn't there, I think it's just the red. But we're gonna make a blue version and a red version or yellow-red version for being a ward or a sentry ward, because you get two unique textures per ward. So the sentry ward, I'm gonna make a blue eye with blue flame, and the ribbon's gonna be blue, and the book cover is gonna be blue as well. And maybe we can even change the color of the wax for the candle. to like darken this and match all those colors, you know, way nicer than I'm doing now, but this all just blockouts. Hi Terralark, welcome to the live workshop. How long have I been working on this board? I think the first night I just did this whole low poly mesh in like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then the night after that I did the UVs. All the UVs like here. So these guys. And then that same night we did a little bit of the top of the book and some tests for ink to see what size we wanted the font to be. And then tonight, or this morning I should say, freaking 7:30 in the morning, we've been doing a little bit of the textures. So yeah, I don't know, not very long really. My friend Thiago is gonna be making the animations for the board. Dota2, you guys probably know him. He's done some really cool careers. I've created items for the Team Fortress 2 workshop as well. Frank was asking if I've made any of the other workshops. Did I do the UV manually? The UVs, I used this plugin that comes with a soft image. It's called Unfold, and it's available for Maya and other 3D applications as a plugin. But it comes regular with soft image, and with that tool, you basically just select your edges, and it unfolds them for you quite precise. And you just worry about placing them. I have a duplicated geo. Oh no! Oh, when's the last time that I saved this? We are crashing. Hello, Sank, what's up? What did I just do? Yeah, I made some new UVs for that face that was missing. So I just made the face, and then I found where my other face was, because it's a mirrored section, and then I just remade it. Alright, let's position this so you guys can see everything. A good thing is that I'm in the habit of saving a lot by reflex now. So I lost like 3 seconds of my work there. I'm continuously saving and saving as new versions of files as well. So whenever I'm saving, I'll start making, you know, I have like one BBB, one CCC. Start going through the alphabet, creating different versions of my file in case they get corrupted. I don't want to be losing work. So it's a good little trick to be in the habit of, you know, saving your work that way, guys. Autosave just keeps stacking, you know, and sometimes it gets corrupted too. And you know, if it starts taking a lot of memory, and it doesn't, you know, if you're saving your own file, you can get descriptions in there. So if I get through, you know, file 3C and I start the UVs, I'll start calling it file 3C UV unwrapping start, and then I can take that off and start doing CCC, BBB, or whatever. But then you actually have like a chronology of your model. If you ever get, you know, you need to go back to something, it's way clearer that way. So yeah, I don't use the autosave too much. I think I have only 5 autosaves on there just as a backup. But I think manually, you know, there's no dispute. This old book. All the red sections you see on here right now that I'm flicking on and off, those are all the sections that I am mirroring on the texture. Save resolution and make the rest of my textures higher resolutions look better. But you can't really see anything mirrored at the moment, can you? I mean, we haven't really textured most of it, but still, you know, none of the pages really look mirrored. Even though all these sides are mirrors from the top and the bottom and the sides. These are hey Manny, how'd you get to put 2 toolbars in your UI on the left? Over here? I made my custom UI. I put all my custom things on here. You know, if you go to layouts, or sorry, oh, you can edit current layout or create a new layout from current, and then in there you can start subdividing your columns in here. So you subdivide it, and then you can start dropping buttons and all that stuff. Miros is asking what the music's from. It's Ronald Jenkins. You can drop by iTunes and look him up, or check him out on YouTube. He's got a lot of YouTube videos too. Guy's really, really cool. You're welcome, Frank. Thanks for dropping by, dude. Yes, Rib. Thank you. Do I actually prefer Softimage or other popular modeling programs such as Maya Max, or do I just use it? I actually used to work on 3D Max, my first studio, back at Digital Extremes. Then we switched to Maya, or to Softimage over there after 3D Max. And then at LucasArts I used Maya. Well, the studio used Maya, and I hated it. I mean, you know, comparing all three of them, Softimage is by far better modeling program for art. I mean, for animation, Maya is stronger, but for modeling and rendering and all these things, I really like Softimage. Sag's asking if the studios use certain programs for certain tasks, meaning Maya for animation, Soft-Image for modeling, etc., etc. It really depends on the studio. Some studios will force all their guys to work on the same program. Other studios will let their artists work on whatever program they're better or faster with, as long as they can get their work back to the program where the next person in the pipeline needs it. So if you're a character artist and you prefer to use Blender or Maya, Soft-Image, whatever, and the studio is using Maya, as long as you bring your work into Maya and you have it all set up there with materials or whatever it is that the rigger needs it to rig it to the skeleton so you can pass it up to the animator, you know, as long as you don't disturb the pipeline and everybody can work together, then it's the best way to do it. But it is studio dependent. Did I make a high poly asset for this? I haven't yet, and the reason is I don't think it really needs a high poly asset for it. Maybe I'll do a ZBrush pass on the wood part, just to add some cracks and things like that. But the rest of the model doesn't really require. Doesn't really need any ZBrushing like the pages or. Yeah, I mean the ribbon you want, maybe the ribbon, maybe a quick pass on the ribbon, but the ribbon is really scrunched up in here in the UVs. So, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe for that and for the wood we'll do. Nothing else needs it. But I mean, we still have to bake. We'll bake those normal maps, and then we'll have to do that ambient occlusion pass as well, so we can get shadowing and everything. Right now, it's just a bunch of colors on it. Oh, and maybe on this thing we'll add some. Maybe some wax dripped onto the table a little bit. Pretty good. Good wax. Is this word for my Phantom Lancer? No, no, totally not. Why? Oh, I guess because of the red and the yellow. No, this is gonna be more for like the wizards, like Keeper of the Light, Invoker, Warlock. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, then we'll make the blue version for the Sentry Ward. Turn all these guys blue, and the blue eye, and the blue flame, and blue cover for the book.